Hi guys, welcome back for another Matchbox Garage video. I'm Rob and today I'm going to attempt to take this 1986 Mercedes-Benz 300e from shabby to shiny. Now for me, a big old Mercedes shouts one thing, and that is VIP. So we're going to go with the normal methods here, drilling down the centre of the post, taking off the flange, tapping the hole using my very handy vise, and I've already drilled it here, so as you can read, 1986 Matchbox International Limited Mercedes-Benz 300e, made in Thailand. So this is like a, was it Polizia? Obviously he's in some kind of police colours. I'm going to guess from either Germany or Austria, perhaps Poland. If anybody could tell me, that would be cool. But I'm not going to be putting this back into this standard condition. This is not a restoration. This is a customization. Like I say, I think big Mercs should be VIP. So that's what I'm going to try and do to this. What they say is like murder it out. So big wheels, black on black on black, and I was looking forward to doing this one. So it's a metal base car, loads of detail on the bottom here. Interior also pretty detailed. Nice bucket seats, see the gearing stick there. And then I pre-drilled the tab on the window section too, just so that it can pop out. But in good condition, a little bit scuffed, a little bit hazy from the last 30 odd years of play, but certainly in usable condition. So this one's got the opening doors. I'd always pop these out for when I remove the paint. For the most part, it's just to keep that little tiny thin piece of metal out of the, whenever I use the caustic soda or paint stripper. I wonder whether there'd be any of it left if I was to put that in too. So just popping out the front grille and headlight section there, and it literally just pops out. It's not glued in. There's no tabs. It's just a push in. So let's take the paint off of these. Now, because I have recently broken my tall glass jar, this is quite a large scale compared to some of the 50s and 60s stuffs. These 80s cars are just that little bit bigger, and I felt that if I was to use the jar, then I'm going to cause myself some kind of hassle by having the caustic soda spill over. So I've had this paint stripper for some time. I used it on the first car that I ever did. Not that I liked it, but it actually worked pretty well today. And here it is after just a few minutes. Bit of a scrub with a brush. Took it downstairs, run it underneath the sink, and as you can see, there's some paint still hanging on there, but 99% of it is gone. Same again on the base. Paint on the doors held up a bit stronger for whatever reason. To be fair, it would have just picked off with my nail at this point. But what I'm going to do is just give it a good old polish up with the wire brush there, and also just finish it off with a bit of wire wall. So it come out looking pretty good. And I'm going to give the same treatment to all three items here. The body, the base and the interior. Give them all a coat of fine surface primer by Tamiya. This is in the light grey. Just a single relatively heavy coat on all pieces. And I love this setup now that I have for all the, you know, the paint booth for sucking out all the gases or excess overspray. It certainly makes quite the difference in my lungs, my eyes, and just dust in general around my little workshop here. So if anyone else is going to be doing this kind of thing, you know, it's not a cheap item. I think it cost me about £80, so about $120, but certainly well recommended. Now that I've tried to paint three things at the same time, I realise that the forceps are certainly the best way to go. Now I'm holding this with these little crocodile clips on cocktail sticks, but nothing beats those forceps. So I'll certainly have to purchase maybe a few pairs, just so that in future I won't need to muck around with these. They're only a couple of quid each, so no big deal. But as always, looks great, this undercoat, and it dries super fast in probably 3 or 4 minutes. So I'll be using the Vallejo. Still not sure whether I'm pronouncing that correct, but I think it's Vallejo in just the standard black. Pour it straight out the pot into the airbrush. The other colours have sprayed better from the airbrush. This black seems to be a lot thicker than the other colours, and it comes out in like a matte finish, as you can see there. So just with the body, I just started off by painting with the doors open, just to get the kind of the door shuts, etc. Put that to one side to dry, whilst I paint the base and the interior. You can see that I had to go really close, which again, some of the other colours, and especially if I'm using the Tamiya paints, thin down. I don't need to. Perhaps this would be much better if I used Vallejo thinners. I did try to thin them down with a Tamiya X20A, which didn't work, but maybe I need to get some of that in the future. I actually used this paint on a Lincoln Continental perhaps about 10 videos ago. If you haven't seen it already, please do check it out. But knowing that it was going to be a satin finish, that's why I used it again for this VIP Mercedes. If I wanted the gloss finish, I could have just used the Tamiya, or even just put the lacquer over the satin finish on this one. But you know, I wanted that satin finish, so quite happy with the result in the end. So with the Pledge floor polish, I added a couple of drops of black paint here and tried to tint the windows. The first attempt didn't put enough black in, and it didn't kind of tint it enough. This second attempt certainly got me you know, to where I want it to be. And I think I probably could have gone a little bit darker even, or left this to one side for half an hour, dry off, and then kind of done a second dip. But actually, the result is really good after drying, if I do say so myself. But hopefully you can tell on camera that the glass is tinted, certainly a darker shade than if it was clear. So this is with the front grille and a little bit of kind of bits and pieces painted in, lights and number plates and so on. There's the glass now dry. Again, in person it's certainly darker. The interior dry, put some extra little detail there, kind of gold, you know, VIP, black and gold, certainly goes to, in my opinion. Kind of put a bit of detail on the base, and then there's the front number plate. And I'm going to take these wheels. This is just a cheap real toy, and I'm going to take these wheels. They're VIP look, but I'm just going to paint these centres black. So just as a little reminder of what we started out with and the result. A cool VIP Mercedes. Big black, kind of black windows, black interior, a little bit of detail there in the rear lights and number plate. But yeah, great big wheels. She still rolls. Pretty cool. But anyway, I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank my first Patreon, Wheels and Things. Not only is it a privilege to have my first Patreon member, but also he was the first channel that I ever started to watch, so that's fantastic. But anyway, guys, thanks again for watching. Please continue to watch any upcoming videos.